Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Vagrus, the Riven Realms. We have a place to go in the Market District, but before we do that, we're going to take a quick rest. Our people got a little beat up, so I think it would be good to rest. How are we doing? Let's pay for a little more morale, and then we'll use some healing stuff to gain some vitality. People have healed from hurt. This is good. You're 6 health down. Actually, people are pretty wounded. Actually, just Aelani and Harvick. So maybe instead of resting some more, let's go to the Temple District. Can we... Do you guys heal people? Priests? Binding? No, that's not it. Does anybody in Torzeg's shelter heal people? Maybe in the Market District? We could go... Actually, we should pop by Braxius real quick to sell stuff. Because we have so much... We just have a bunch of stuff from when we were delving in the Valley of the Sleepers. We just got a bunch of treasure. Sell these tribal trinkets. Bronze statue, I guess? I wish it didn't scroll up like that every single time. More bronze statue? How many bronze statues do we have? Spectral residue? That one we should give to somebody else. Ancient tablets are worth a lot. Rare jewelry? Maybe I should do this off camera. We're getting loads of money, though. Alright, we'll sort that out later, but that's very interesting. Leave the store. I'm assuming we want to go to the Kalrish Market, but I was hoping somebody would be able to heal us. Aha! The infirmary. Seek healing for a more serious ailment. Heal Harvick and Aelani. Cool. And Gorgoro only was missing 1 health, so that's fine. We're good on supplies. Leave the infirmary. Now we will go pursue this dude in the Market District. Go to the Kalrish Market. We browse the goods on display. Why don't we check it out? Ivory, spice, common but pretty jewel. No, thank you. We are going to visit Dai Korvas and his herd. You start asking questions. The Kalrash here, of course, know the great Dai Korvas and his herd, unequaled wanderers of the wasteland. In fact, they speak of them in reverence. What you learn is that Dai Korvas left months ago. Damn it! Heading west towards the Searing Plains. Rumors indicate that his goal was to contact a Tarkian trade prince in Tum Kelvar, with whom he intended to conduct some business. Dang it! It's the damn worms! No one has heard of him or his herd since then. They got eaten by worms! That is our only lead then, Nadir concludes after your inquiries yield no other results but variations of the above story. She seems quite irritated. I'm afraid we have no choice but to travel to Tum Kelvar, for better or worse. There's no arguing with that. Alright. That is our mission. We must leave the market. I guess we could have done that last episode, huh? Well, we're gonna pop by the Twin Towers. There are no missions to take anything there, unfortunately. There was some defense there, but that's not what we want to do. We want to go visit the Twin Towers. It's not super far away. 6 to 8 days of travel. It's near the water regions? I wonder if you get past the Twin Towers, could we visit Lyrinia? We hang out by the water region? Margorod. I've never gone south. It's very interesting. So let's try it out. Let's go to the market. Let's stack up some stuff. Let's check equipment too. See if there's anything good. Anything valuable here? The only stuff that's available to us is travel or navigation, and I think those are pretty rare. But let's grab some supplies. There were 2 people that wanted to go to the Twin Towers. Yeah, we're going to take you guys with us. Ex-legionnaires and groups of urchins. We don't have enough fighters to guard fully, but we can do just normal guarding. So that's fine. 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 8 days. Good. Although, we should probably buy enough stuff to come back with. And then, could we take anything to Karnak? Since that's kind of on the way. And I don't really know what they'd want in the Twin Towers. Let's just double check. If there's anything that we could take to Karnak to make it, like, worthwhile other than just yeeting money down the drain. I mean, if there was ever a time to just yeet money to learn stuff, it's now. Dried fruit we could make a little bit off of. Dyes as well. Hides is a good one. You gain a whole bronze for that. Iron, not bad. Dyes and iron. And dyes, hides, and iron. It's like hard to say. Mushroom beer. Mushrooms. There's actually quite a bit of stuff that you could take to Karnak and still make money off of. Pottery as well. Pottery is like the gold standard for buying stuff in Torzeg Shelter. So I think hides is the one I'm gonna start with, if they have any. Let's just take a look. They have a fair amount. 1, 2, 3. Dyes, we can stack 15. Just double check that didn't like have a brain fart. Buy it for 6.5, 6.9. Okay, yeah. So you could buy dyes and iron. Yes. How much iron do you guys have here? A stack? It's like 70 gold, or 70 silver down the drain, or not down the drain, but tied up in that. Dyes as well. Just make sure it doesn't change too high on me, otherwise we start losing money. Dried fruit there's not a whole lot of, but... What was the other thing? Dried fruit we could do a little bit of. Oh, it was mushrooms. Mushroom and mushroom beer. Oh, marble. I was gonna say, that is in demand, apparently. Let's just fill out with mushroom beer, I guess. As long as the price stays the same. Bang. Okay, cool. We took all that they could give us. Alright, let's head out. Trudge out the city gates. And south we go. For the first time since we went to Karnak Station that one time and then regretted it. But not this time. We fully intend to go this way. Why are the slaves disgruntled? Somebody died? What? They killed a worker? What is wrong with you guys? It's because you're distressed and unruly. Punish them. Earn their trust by being lenient. Let's just do this one. We failed. We gained some loyalty, lost some loyalty. Oh well. Oh man, and we're weak because of the labor shortage. Distressed and unruly. Pay our dudes just for now. Alright, nothing terrible happened there, thankfully. How far is Karnak? It can't be that far. We succeeded, thankfully. There we go. Probably one more day. 2 more days. Alright, we thankfully reached there. And now maybe we can hire some people. In we go. Use the well here to fill up on water and quench your thirst. Gain some supplies and some vigor. Chat with travelers? Nah, that's fine. Leave the compound. To the Manzio. Hire all the fighters they have. Hire a slave. And then hire 1 worker. And now we're okay. Maybe 2 workers. Partially defended again. Get out of here. It's a balancing act, I guess. Alright, so... cargo here. Let's just reorder things. Does anybody need me to what the hell is this place? Hargard tool? Oh, you're in the middle of nowhere. Alright. Defend, I see. Eliminate, defend, eliminate, eliminate. Nobody wants me to take any stuff for them. That's kind of my specialty, but we'll deal with it. You guys don't have anything in Kurnak, right? Like, you don't produce stuff, you just kind of absorb things. So let's just sell our stuff. Gain some money. We're up to 200. And then I guess we'll just continue on to the Twin Towers. 2 to 3 days away, that's not too bad. Exit. We still have some movement in us, actually, so we might as well get on with it. Back onto the road. Let's do the full rest, so we start generating morale again. Or not the full rest, but the full guarding. We're like entering green territory. There's green in this world? It's not just a burned wasteland? Harvick is healed. And we are 1 shy of the Twin Towers. And alright. Hello! We have gained some insight. We've dropped off the urchins and the ex-legionnaires. Standing on either side of the only traversable path across the barren Sepis Mountains like a pair of ancient weather-beaten guardsmen, the Twin Towers are said to be the gateway between the Imperial heartlands and the lands beyond. Yet they appear merely as 2 decrepit fortresses huddled beneath walls of rock, one abandoned, the other guarded by a grim legion, and thus the gateway becomes a barrier. The cordon nobody shall pass, or the East Tower, the garrison oversees it. I'm intrigued to see, like, who even functions here. House Darius and the church. And they don't want stuff, they just, or don't want me to transport stuff, they just want me to kill people. What is valuable here? Like, I'm just curious to see what we could buy at Tor's Eggs and sell here. Bright Kelp works. Ceruleus Crystal, a little bit. If you took it from Lumen to here, that would be a good way. But it's a long trek. Coal, not so much. Copper is okay. I guess probably metals in general, huh? Dyes is a bad one. Lava Crystal is a little bit. Seems like everything you make like a little bit of money off of. Hides, once again, you could make money off of. Iron, you actually lose money. Yeah, I'm guessing you just don't bring stuff here to sell. It doesn't make sense. Obsidian, I guess you could do a little bit if you got it really cheap somewhere else. It's interesting, but it is really out here, so. Let's go to the cordon. Ask if you can pass. The blockade stretches across the mile-wide gap between the 2 forts in the valley, consisting of patrols and small camps in the usual organized Imperial fashion. They stop everyone and initially, politely ask them to turn back. Komitatai on the south side are also gathered in a camp and seem to be interacting with the guards from time to time. Ask if you can pass. Ask around for news from the south. You talk to some legionnaires and soon come to the conclusion that a few well-placed coins will gain access to news from the south. It's pretty cheap, might as well. You glean something of interest from among the many boring and odd details. Perhaps you can pass this on elsewhere. You received news from Zerine City. Let's ask if we can pass. The guard captain who you address at one of the camps looks at you with visible disdain. Yes, of course you can. You only. Nobody else but you. Let me get my men to move aside so that your excellency can pass through. The legionnaires chuckle at the vitriol, but the captain silences them with a constipated look before turning back to you. No, citizen, nobody can pass. That is by senatorial decree. Go up to the fort and ask one of the office soldiers of the why and how and stop pestering us. You take your leave. I mean, it was worth asking. The huge fortress stationed in and around the tower clearly does not belong to its regular garrison. Their flying dark banners indicate that they belong to the Legio 21. Some smaller comitatai can be found encamped beneath the fort, clearly having traveled south in hopes of crossing the mountains, but apparently held here. Ask for an audience with the tower or approach the other Vagrai of the comitatai camped here. Let's talk to them, maybe they can give us some insight. You find your companionship and gossip among the other Vagrai who gathered around a large campfire. Some of them you know from your previous travels, others you have never seen before. You join them for a while, learning tidbits and interesting details about the blockade, or quarantine as the Legionnaires refer to it, and hear bone-chilling stories about the spectral voice on the winds. It seems the Vagrai here are not interested in turning back, trusting in the Empire's ability to deal with the situation in a timely fashion. They even received some complimentary supplies, which you can also requisition apparently if you haven't already. They say you can also learn news from faraway lands to the south if you bribe the right Legionnaires at the Cordon. Well, we've already done that. We lost a movement. Claim your complimentary supplies. The quartermasters are laughing at a particularly dirty joke when you approach them. Upon hearing about your occupation and verifying you are indeed a Vagrus, you only have to sign some papers and add your name to the list to get goods. Dried meat, whey bread, some dried mushrooms, and drinking water, one of them informs you dryly. You load what you can. 200 supplies, hell yeah, that's not nothing. Ask for an audience at the tower. It only takes a minute or two to gain an audience with Captain Mavuru Obuius, in charge of the Legion's blockade. The Damahan-born woman bears a suit of bronze armor and a bored expression, clearly having explained all this to others 100 times already. I'm sorry to inform you, citizen, she says with a thick accent. Oh god, what would her accent be? I don't even know. French? Not looking up from her papers. By the decree of the Senate, that's not French, but it is what it is, no civilians are allowed to pass the Cepis Mountains at this time, and we are unsure when the threat is going to be ended. That would enable the lifting of the blockade. It is for your own good and for the good of the Empire. Rest assured that the matter is in good hands. You can stay encamped here in the valley, or return whence you came. Complimentary supplies can be requisitioned from my quartermasters in the yard. Okay. We've already got that. And so let's inquire about the nature of the threat. The threat is, she gives a brief moment of thought, manifold, one would say. She sighs, leaning back in her chair, folds her fingers, and looks you in the eye. Several weeks ago, the region, that is the wasteland north of the Cepis Mountains, was shaken by a series of earthquakes, accompanied by something that could best be described as a horrid scream. This scream, clearly of magical nature, was loudest and most potent in and around the singing winds, weakening as it got further from the source. Though it lasted only a few hours, it killed everything and everyone in these parts, induced nightmares for days as far as towards Egg Shelter. The winds have gone mad, for lack of better words, and have been raging ever since the incident. Again, the potency of this is strongest on the plains west of here, and get weaker as one travels to the north. Yet somehow it upsets the already unpredictable ash storms of the forlorn wastes, making the Forsaken region particularly inaccessible. People keep hearing strange noises in the winds. Many succumb to sudden screams in the gales, or experience constant nightmares. In the meantime, another threat emerged, added to the chaos. Strange, ravenous creatures emerging from the singing winds, and started attacking anything and anyone, mostly during the night. We have no idea where they are, what they are, or where they are from, yet you need not be afraid. We drew a quarantine around these parts, so these abominations won't threaten citizens elsewhere. You try to take in all you've heard. Upon seeing this, the captain smiles confidently and adds, Fear not, Vagrus. Our legion and the Imperial authorities face such threats quite often. We are more than capable of handling it. But you can see why this was called the blockade into being. The Senate is reacting to the incident and saw fit to forgo its spread to the south from the Terra Supra. You ask if you can be a help. Your crew is quite able. Ask the captain if the lands to the south are also affected. Curiously, no, she replies, and when she realizes that you would like to hear more, she sighs and adds, Winds and storms have reportedly been wilder all along the coast as far south as Port Navarum. This seems to have hampered voyages across the Karganath Sea, but the situation is not as bad up here. The province does not suffer the same gales, and accompanying phenomena as these regions either. I hope that sates your curiosity, Vagrus. Ask something else. Ask if you can help. The captain looks at you in silence for a few long moments. Now that you mention it, we could use an independent agent. Someone mobile, someone with a capable crew that could do some preliminary recon for us while we are securing the region. You know she really means someone expendable. I would give you supplies and special equipment. You'll have to find the source of the monsters, which must be somewhere in the singing winds, and make an attempt to reach Caravan. Don't worry, we do not want anyone to enter. Just use a sorcerer and the equipment I provide to scry on the ruins so that we can learn more about the voice on the wind. We are also gathering information on the dreams induced by the winds, by use of magical crystals that could record mental images. Lastly, we could use reports on the nature of the voice, should you learn anything useful, but these last two things are in the good-to-have category, Vagrus. The important things are the source of the beasts and the magical scrying on Caravan. She leans on the table, smiling. You would be richly compensated. Accept the task. This could get us killed, but I have no idea of knowing whether it's going to be really hard or really not. Fantastic. Better get to it, then. My assistant will make sure you get all the necessary equipment. You are about to leave with said assistant when the captain gets up and adds, one more thing. When you are done, don't come back here. Rather take all you've learned to Torzag's shelter. My superiors at the Temple District will take it over from there. And I know that this mission is not without its dangers. The Singing Winds is a dangerous place to begin with, and it has become much worse these days. Make sure you go in prepared. You nod and leave with the assistant. The ritual materials for scrying and the dream crystals are soon in your possession, while the supplies are loaded into your cargo hold. Time to plan what to do next. We gained 500 supplies, the ritual materials, and dream crystals. Okay. What are we doing? The source of discord. Glean the nature of the voice in the wind? We already did that? How? Are we that good at this job? Have a sorcerer scry on the ruins of Caravan from just outside the city. Find the source of the mutant invasion somewhere in the Singing Winds. And then optional is record dreams caused by the phenomenon using the dream crystals they gave you. Alright. Let's gain some fighters, I guess. We'll take the one slave. Add another fighter or two. And exchange for news. You want to go back to Torzag, so you probably don't want to come with us. Do you? Yeah, and you have no supplies here, so that's probably why they have the, like, apply for supplies. So where are we going? Just into the Singing Winds? Does it say? Yeah, just gather information about the unusual phenomenon. Have a sorcerer scry on the ruins of Caravan just here. So let's go ahead and rest. I guess we just sleep on the floor? I take it back. We don't want to rest. Let's leave and head off into the wasteland. We have 11 days worth of supplies. That's quite a few. Let's pay our dudes. They're on a suicide mission as it is. Let's go here and then into the wastes. I don't know where we're going, but we're gonna find out. Camp, can we send our dudes out? Maybe they'll get some supplies. Hey! Success, and we got 52 supplies. Good job, us. We're just going straight west. I have no idea where I'm going. Huh? Straight west again. Oh! The Tainted Camp. No, we won't bother you. Ooh, some dust on the wind. Seeing this? What's that? It's not on the map. We should go towards it. Down we go. Tum Kelvar. Was that the place we needed to scry? No, Caravan. What is Tum Kelvar? Are there worms there? Because that's what the other one... Oh! Scouts you have sent out report the presence of legionnaires upon their return, apparently camping out here in the Singing Winds. As you approach, you can see that they were right. Several dozens of Imperial soldiers rush around busily in a marching camp consisting of a few military tents. You are not sure if they have noticed you, but assume so. A whole comitatus in the middle of the open desert is not exactly a sight easily missed. Let's approach. The camp seems temporary. Clearly, the Legionnaires have no intention of staying here for long. The accommodations consist of a few large military tents. You wonder why the Empire decided to send out its forces into such a forsaken place. You are greeted by some watchmen at the perimeter, one of them exclaiming, "This is the camp of the 7 cohorts of the 13th Imperial Legion." They ask you to leave your weapons behind with assurance that they will be returned upon your departure. You are led to a smaller, somewhat more ornate tent in the middle of the camp and told to enter. Inside, a sinewy, tall man stands over a map folded out on a table. "Greetings, Vagrus," he says. "I'm Tribune Philo Inersus, commander of the Wind Watch. Thank you for meeting me. I have information that might be of interest to a traveler such as you." We will listen to him. You ask him what brings Imperial soldiers so far out into the wilderness. "There has been an incident," Philo Inersus replies. "We aren't exactly sure what caused it, but there was a huge earthquake in the region just recently. We've already heard about this. Calculations and scrying seem to indicate that this epicenter was somewhere in the vicinity of the ruins of Caravan, the ancient elvish city, but we cannot exactly be sure. Given that those ruins were of an ill and cursed reputation beforehand, it is feasible to assume that something has happened there. Ever since that earthquake, the singing winds grew even worse, and more hostile than they had been before. The gales grew fiercer, and there is also some indication that they caused nightmares, maybe even madness in those exposed to them for too long. And if that was not enough, murderous, ferocious monstrosities started to roam the land. We don't know what they are yet, but they are formidable opponents. We have neither the intention nor the capacity to stop you should you wish to venture deeper into the region. Fair warning is all we can give. You'd better turn back and shun these cursed lands. You consider this, and upon seeing it, Inersus adds, "You can ask, and I can answer your questions should you have any. And if you are interested in more, perhaps you should head to the Twin Towers, our base of operations." We've already been there. Ask him about Caravan. Can you give us directions? That would be awesome. "Caravan was a mighty and magnificent city of the elves," Philo Inersus tells you, "ruled by some queen and a great ally of the ascending empire back in the days of old. Legends say she had a special gift. Her voice was allegedly so beautiful that she could shape the world just by singing. Utter nonsense, of course. According to the tradition, she sensed the coming of the calamity long before it occurred, but paid no heed to the omens, assuming the gods of humanity would spare the elves." The Tribune rubs the back of his neck thoughtfully. "She was wrong. Caravan fell just the same, and not much has been known about it ever since. The singing winds came to be all around it, and its ruins are rumored to be a dark, haunted place. I advise you not to seek them out." Ask him what they are doing here. "We are the Wind Watch," Philo Inersus replies. Here to patrol the outskirts of the Singing Winds by Imperial decree. Nice name, huh? A committee came up with it. Our base of operations are the Twin Towers, to the south and east of the plains. Anyway, we try to make sure nothing comes out, and do our best to warn everyone not to venture there. Not that we have the capability to actually hinder those that wish to do so. Do they know what might have caused the changes? His face grows worried. "We do not know," he admits, "and as I said, there was an earthquake not long ago, rather unusual for this area. Some say it was preceded by a most unusual phenomena, a kind of..." He's clearly searching for the most fitting description. "A kind of shriek, like a howling of a storm, but thousandfold louder and more intense. It was strongest around these parts. There are reports about it being heard even in Torzeg's shelter, though I don't give too much credit to those. Some say it must have come from the ruins of Caravan, but there is no proof of this either." And then ask him what we can expect if we venture further. He gives you a curious look as if trying to guess your intentions. "Well, just as I said, except for being freakishly strong and making travel hard, the winds in there have foul tendency to incite malicious nightmares and a fever of the brain. Also, there are ravenous monsters, and who knows what else might prey on travelers. It's almost as if the calamity has occurred again in this region, only maybe on a somewhat smaller scale. These are not lands to be tread lightly. Thank you for the warning, and take your leave. We lost a movement, but we gained an insight." Okay. Well, we're gonna camp at your site for now, guy. Because we can't go anywhere. And then in we go. I'm worried about how dangerous these spectral beasts are. I guess I don't know if they're spectral. I thought they were. We gained some insight for discovering Tum Kelvar. What foul grave is this, upturned and broken apart? Its accursed contents spilt across the wasteland. Surely its gaping maw has found exactly where the forgotten vault of Kelvar should be, but can they be one and the same? One would have to delve into the great crag and skittering darkness below to find out. Explore the underground ruins of Tum Kelvar. There it lies, the entrance to the great vault of Kelvar, brought to light by the recent spasms of the earth after being hidden away for long years in the shadowy depths. You gaze down from the edge of an immense crevice, spying buildings and colonnades of Imperial architecture occupying the layers revealed by the earthquakes. Not too far below, there is an arch mostly intact with only a small amount of debris blocking it. What lies beyond is largely shrouded by darkness, but if your eyes don't deceive you, a doorway leads into the rock face there. From where you can stand, a steep, winding slope descends almost directly to it, almost like a ramp built on purpose. It doesn't look like an easy climb, but it could be scaled with some care. As you stand there marveling at what magnificent feats of architecture the old empire was capable of, and pondering what long-forgotten secrets and treasures might lay inside, something catches your eye. Was that movement? You turn your head to focus and try to penetrate the shades below. No, you were wrong. Everything is perfectly still. Of course it is. Surely nothing could be alive down there. What the heck? There! What was that? Did something move again, slinking away in the sunlight? This time you're quickest to focus and see, or believe to see, something. Tiny dots of light emerge for a split second and then are gone. You shake your head. Maybe it was your eyes just sparkling from staring into the darkness for too long. One of your guards walks up to you and says, "Scary place, huh? What shall it be, Vagrus?" We won't do that. We have a mission right now, which is to go find the elf city. Ah, there it is. The Howling City. Ooh. How much supplies do we have? We only have 5 days of supplies? That's not gonna fly. We're not fast enough to get out there. Uh-oh. Well... okay, I take it back. We're gonna pause the episode there. We're gonna delve into Tum Kelvar, see what we can find, and then we're gonna go back to Torzag's and get more supplies and try to come back and get to the Howling City before running out of supplies. Because what they gave us was not nearly enough to get all the way out there. But I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a lot. If you want to see more Vagrus the Riven Realms playthrough or my other videos I have going on the channel, subscribe to the channel. That also helps me out a lot. But until next time, everybody, I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.